Night of the Demons, 1988, Love and Gore behind the scenes.
A full moon, a spooky, deserted mansion. Halloween night.
All right, dude!
Greetings, fiends. The 1980s was a great era for horror films, and the 1988 rock and roll TNA shockfest, Night of the Demons, is a perfect example of classic 80s horror movies. So good, in fact, that it warranted a reboot. But we won't talk about that one, will we? The freakishly fun plot of this film is as follows. On the night of Halloween, 10 teens decide to go to a party at an abandoned funeral parlor. Hull House, rumored to be built on an evil patch of land and underground stream, is the place. While starting the party, the teens gather around a big mirror to perform a seance. Big mistake. They awaken an evil force and find themselves trapped and taken over one by one. Now it's a battle for who can survive and cross over the stream before going to hell. Night of the Demons production and cast. Produced on a relatively low budget of $1.2 million, the original Night of the Demons had an extraordinarily successful Thanksgiving weekend debut, raking in a whopping $3.1 million and playing in theaters until the end of the year. The film was directed by Kevin Tenney, known for other 1980s horror films including Witchboard from 1986, The Cellar, 1988, and Witch Trap, released in 1989. Night of the Demons stars Cathy Podewell as Judy, Alvin Alexis in the role of Roger, Amelia Kinkaide as Angela, our main femme fatale demon, and the lovely and luscious Linnea Quigley as Suzanne, who will be our foxy focal point of this video. Linnea's naked triumph in Return of the Living Dead. Lovely Linnea looks ravishing in and out of costume in Night of the Demons, made only a few years after her unforgettable role as Trash in Dan O'Bannon's zombie horror movie masterpiece, Return of the Living Dead from 1985. In that film, Ms. Quigley stripped down butt naked and danced in a cemetery, and in Night of the Demons, she returns to remind us just how pretty she looks in pink, and out of pink. In fact, it was her role in Return of the Living Dead that made the filmmakers bring her in for an audition, as they were fans of the movie. She initially rejected the offer to audition, believing that she was too old to convincingly portray a teenager. Her agent insisted that she go in, and after a couple more requests, she eventually did audition. To her surprise, they cast her on the spot. During an interview, Linnea was asked if she had ever been in an audience of fans and just watched their reactions to one of her films. She replied, quote, "I have, and it's really fun. Actually, when I first saw Night of the Demons, I went to see it at a drive-in, and it was a really great experience. Except I forgot that the first scene I filmed was my bare butt bending over, and it was up on the big screen really, really big. And I was like, oh God, no, and a little embarrassed." Unquote. Love and Lipstick Breasts. Director Kevin Tenney said that he came up with Linnea Quigley's lipstick on her breast scene. But the more he thought about it, the more he felt like it was too out there. He went to the office the next day planning to cut it, but everyone else loved it and convinced him to keep it. As far as filming the infamous lipstick scene with Linnea Quigley, Tenney had this to say, quote, Linnea had been nude modeling long before she'd been starring in movies, so she was completely comfortable doing the scene. She read the script. She saw what we were going to do. We sent her over to Steve Johnson, who made a cast of her breasts, and the rest is history. The rest is history indeed. Linnea Quigley and special effects artist Steve Johnson met when she came in to get the mold for her prosthetic breasts done. Needless to say, it was love at first sight, and Quigley and Johnson were later married. Amelia Kincade, Dancing Demon versus Naked Girls. Actress Amelia Kincade, who plays Angela, our main demon squeeze in The Night of the Demons, said the reason she wanted to play the part was because all the other girls were running around naked and getting killed, and she was the only character who got to keep her clothes on and kill everybody else. She said, quote, "Given the choice between screaming and being chased by a female demon or being a female demon, I thought it was fun," unquote. It is interesting to note that Amelia Kincade also choreographed her own dance routine. One of the most memorable scenes in the film is Angela's seductive dance set to the classic Bauhaus track Stigmata Martyr, which came about as a result of Amelia Kincade's background as a professional dancer.
Blessed be the sinners, for the day of atonement is at hand.
Cathy Podewell on the creepy Hull House. Actress Cathy Podewell said that the cast grew very close because they were always together. They were all too afraid to be in their dressing rooms in Hull House or any other parts of the location alone because the building was just too creepy. So they hung out together outside between scenes. Jill Terraa takes it all off. Night of the Demons was the first on-screen nudity gig for Jill Terraa, who played the character of Franny. When asked during an interview if she was uncomfortable taking off her clothes, she said not at all. She went to nude beaches all the time and was proud of her body. And a million guys are pleased that you're proud, Jill. I hope you enjoyed this look at Night of the Demons. And as always, please like and subscribe. Thank you.